Welcome to Object 6, a colossal space station set on a disastrous 400-year-old journey in a search of a new home. You awaken from a cryogenic sleep stricken with a rare psychological disease and unknowingly holding humanity's last hope in his bare hands. Right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kieran and welcome to a different kind of video today where I'm not going to be talking about survival horror, I'm not going to be talking about Fallout. Instead, I'm going to be exploring the world of Insomnia: The Ark, a new story-driven action RPG being released on PC this September. Insomnia is a dieselpunk sci-fi game about the slowly degrading remnants of human society attempting to survive on an abandoned space metropolis. The reason why this game really excites me is because of how the game looks and feels. It's really reminiscent of that of Bioshock and Fallout and even a little bit of Metro. I'm really happy that these games are still being worked on to this day because many RPG developers nowadays tend to try and appeal to the mass audiences by doing, taking bits and pieces away from what makes a hardcore RPG an RPG. So it's like they would have more let's take Fallout 4 for example, where they take away a lot of the old dialogue system and replace it with more action orientated gameplay, and that's just what kind of direction these kind of games are going nowadays. So it's great that we do have games like The Witcher, we do have games like Insomnia still keeping this genre alive. Insomnia is being developed by Studio Mono, a development team based in Samara, Russia, who have been working on this game for 8 years. Studio Mono is an indie studio who are filled with like-minded individuals from around the world. Not much is known about the studio's history, apart from the fact that they are very experienced devs who are specialised in various fields. The game is being published by HeroCraft, a Russian game developer responsible for titles such as Warhammer 40k Space Wolf and Majesty of the Fantasy Kingdom Sim. If you're a lover of the classic Fallout games, then Insomnia will be right up your alley, as it features branching storylines, choices with consequences, hundreds of NPCs with unique dialogue, and more than 70 locations to explore. But let's move on to the actual world of Object 6, what's the history behind it, and what will we be doing in this game. Object 6 is a massive dystopian space metropolis that left Earth due to an untold disaster that occurred. After 2 decades of not much fighting, it appears that a mass of people who have awakened from some sort of cryosleep and now brave the new world. So this is what I think the prologue will actually be. The game starts out in the normal Earth-like planet, but the disaster is happening, you have to go to Object 6, you're signing up for Object 6. I think that's where the character creation's probably going to be from, like signing up to Object 6 or something like that. And then when you board, you do enter the cryosleep and then you emerge 20 years later. But it's kind of like Fallout in that aspect, which I quite like. So what will you be doing in this game? Well, not much is really known about what you'll be doing. Yes, there is main quest lines and side quests and all that stuff where you'll be doing a variety of tasks and making choices that will affect the story, but what can you actually do in this world around you? In one of the developer interviews, they talk about how there is 7 factions in the game, all having different belief systems on where Object 6 should be doing and should be going. It'll be interesting to see what kind of interactions the player will have with these factions. Will any of them be joinable, or will they be forced to choose from 3 of those 7 factions? My hope is that we have a system similar to New Vegas, where we have 4 big name factions we can help out, and then we have the smaller factions as well, which we can also help out, and what we decide to do with those little factions will impact the story in some way. Take this for example, so in New Vegas you had the Boomers, so if you didn't need the Boomers, but if you're aligned to a specific big name faction, they're like, oh yeah, you should go talk to these Boomers, and you can go talk to the Boomers, you can either A, get rid of them, or B, just kill them all. I'm pretty sure there's a C option of just leaving them alone, but that's just boring, so yeah. And they will impact the Battle of Hoover Dam in a certain way. Not a huge way, but it's still there, and that choice still had the consequence of them interacting with the battle. But in terms of exploration, the game will be a semi-open world, meaning that you can't just simply roam around this massive open map. Instead, you'll have all these locations connected to a big global map of Object 6. From this global map, it will act like the one from Fallout 1 and 2, where you click on a location and your character slowly progresses his way there, although there might be a random event like an ambush or like some sort of NPC interaction that will halt your progress to that location. A more recent example is Kingdom Come Deliverance. So it's like if you want to fast travel somewhere, it isn't like snappy, boom, you click fast travel and you're there. The character slowly makes his progress through the map, and then like a trader comes up, or like just like I said before, an ambush. During an interview at DevGam 2018, one of the developers says this about the game. You'll play as one of the potential companions during the tutorial level before playing as the main character. The main character is one of the local citizens whose story starts during a very particular event as a catastrophe happens and a new threat appears that is quite dangerous for everyone on the station, which may or may not reach its destination at all. So the goal of the player is to deal with this situation and try and find out what's going on and how he can save the station. Mono goes on to talk about the quest system, where he says that the quests can be tackled in many different ways, and that in general these quests will have up to 3 endings. During this interview, Mono is very light on story details and is extremely vague on some of his answers, which is good, I guess, because I think the magic for some of these big name RPGs is naturally discovering the story in the world for yourself instead of having the game developer be like, okay, boom, here's the world, boom, here's the story, okay, go play. I must admit, like, the best experiences I've ever had in these kind of games, take for example Fable 2. I did not know what Fable 2 was until I got the game in my hand and put it in my Xbox. I did not know what the world was, I did not know what the story was, but the most fun I had with that game is discovering all these mysteries, discovering the story for myself, and discovering what this world is. When talking about companions in the game, Mono explains that most of the companions are actually side content and optional. Each companion will have their own quest tied to them as well, however there will be mandatory companions during the main quest line. I can imagine this being just like an NPC following you around for a specific quest or something like that. Nothing too bothersome. So that was only a little bit of the world of Insomnia, the Ark. I will definitely be releasing another video when the game was released, telling a lot of history behind Object 6, telling a lot of history just behind the world itself. So what do you guys think? Do you want to see more of the game? Will you be getting it when it launches next month? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I know this video is a bit different from the ones I usually make, but I really wanted to cover this game because I love these style of games. I love Bioshock, I love Fallout, I love all these post-apocalyptic dystopian RPGs and just worlds in general. So when I seen this game, I was like, this game looks right up my fucking alley, and I really wanted to know if it was right up your alley as well. What I loved as well is the adoption of the classic RPG elements from like Fallout and all those kind of games and bringing them into modern day, which you don't really see that much. Like, you don't see these RPGs getting the attention they deserve. If there is games like this out there and it's released recently and they're modern RPGs like this, then I've definitely not seen them. I think the closest comparison I could probably say to like a classic modern RPG was Wasteland 2, and probably Wasteland 3 as well, but it has those old systems but modernizes it. You don't really see it much anymore, and this game looks really unique. This game just looks really different from what you see nowadays. Probably the closest comparison I would make is it looks a little bit like Witcher, probably. In Witcher, like mixed in with Dark Souls, mixed in with Bio. There's a lot of inspiration that you can see from watching the demos of this game. If you want to know more of my thoughts and opinions on Insomnia, please follow the channel because I'll definitely be doing videos on it in the future as more videos come out, as more... Just actually, do you know, as the game comes out, because the game's only coming out next month, so it's fucking fantastic. Also, I'll definitely be covering more of this game over on the website Lorien Gaming. It's an upcoming gaming site where I'm allowed to write mostly whatever I kind of want. So if you want to go check that out when it launches later this year. You can go follow the Facebook page there now, and you can also go follow the Twitter account there now. So yeah, if you want to read more of what I write, then, you know, head over there, because I do have quite a few opinions on a few games, so aye. So that's me, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and bye bye. See you later.